Are you referring to new Angels skipper Ron Washington, who's joining us
Maybe.
right now on FT Live?
Maybe.
How was that impression?
Awesome. Yes, awesome. That's all that is being in the presence and believing in yourself. And if you got belief, you can handle anything. And I just be feeling like I can handle anything.
The greatest speech giver I ever played for, right there, Ron Washington. I mean, he'd give us some meetings that were unbelievable. I mean, you want to talk about wanting to run through a wall? He starts talking, you run through a wall for that man.
And I only speak what other people put inside of me. That's all. I just want you guys to have it and feel it just like I feel it.
Wash, I know you're at home right now, and thanks for joining us.
You're welcome.
Are you incredibly anxious right now to get to spring training and get things going? You've been waiting for this moment to be back at the helm to run a team for too long.
Yes, I am incredibly ready. I just left Arizona. I just got in last night. I was down at a mini camp down there, and I had a ball just watching those young kids each and every day develop. And I mean, the first day it was raggedy. The second day it got better. The third day it got better. The fourth day it got better. And that's what it's about. There's three things that you want to have happen. You want to get better. That's it. You don't want to be worse, and you certainly do not want to stay the same. So they got better, and I was impressed with that.
You think the kids in the game right now, because you just saw some young kids down at camp in Arizona, you think they're too soft from the time that you've been playing to managing to coaching? Do you think they're too soft in the sense of that competition, like being the best that they can be that day?
Well, majority of them are the best they are where they come from, and they really never had to play against anything when they was coming up. So I just think it's the environment that they come from. I think it's the people that they're around and how they develop them as players. I think that has quite a bit to do with it because I came in as a 16-year-old and I didn't care who was in front of me. I was going to destroy him or he was going to destroy me. But that attitude today in the game is not there because they're not being taught that attitude. I was taught that attitude, and I had to have that attitude on the ball fields that I played on and the parks that I played on and the neighborhoods that I were in. So it certainly has a lot to do with your upbringing. It has a lot to do with the people you're around that's teaching you the game of baseball. All of that come into play. But soft, I wouldn't say they're soft, but I would say that they certainly lacking what it takes to deal with adversity and get through it. You certainly have to help them a lot in this game to get through adversity.
So, Wash, let's get to your current ball club right now. I mean, now that you've had some time to digest what your roster looks like, what stands out? And even more specifically, have you been able to have specific conversations that you feel are making a difference heading into camp with some of the players that you're about to manage?
Yeah, I feel like I'm having some meaningful conversations. Matter of fact, tomorrow morning, I'm flying out of here to Houston to go and meet with Rendon, myself, Bo Porter, and EY. So we've already talked with Trout. I've already had conversations with a few other guys. And it was just fun to be down in Arizona the last 4 days, just to watch what our minor league system is like and see the culture down there and the structure down there, the way they showing these young kids how the game come together. So I'm looking for the same thing. I did tell those kids the last speech that I gave to them that I thought I was going to have to take the culture from up top and send down, but look like I got to take the culture from down here and bring it up there.
What is the culture? What is the culture, Wash? Because all you see is what we see in the media, right? From the Angels,
Yeah.
they haven't been to the playoffs in forever. They haven't won a playoff game in forever. So, what is the culture? How are you, as the new manager of the Angels, going to bring your culture to what has been there for the last 15 years?
Attitude, commitment, effort, belief, all of those type of things right there. Loving on each other. And I'm not talking about no kisses and hugging. I'm talking about caring about one another, helping each other through struggle. Those are the type of things that create a culture. And this is what I've seen those guys down in the minor leagues, the young kids was being given through the coaching staff down there, how to care about one another, how to believe, how to have attitude, how to go out and develop work ethic, those type of things. And once you get those type of things going in the right direction, the culture really take care of itself. And structure, you got to have structure. Every day you come to the ballpark, there got to be some kind of plan that you have to get better for everyone every single day for everyone. And then now you got structure. And once you develop the structure and you got some culture, now you're just talking about consistency, being consistent at the game, being able to do what the game asks you to do on every single day. There's nothing that the game can show us that we will not be ready for. Again, that's structure and culture.
Is there anything different that you're going to talk to Rendon about when you go to meet with him? He played in 43 games last year. Like, you talk about consistency, like consistently out on the field. Is there something specific that you're meeting with him specifically to talk about?
No, I'm going to see what he has to say why things went the way they went. I know Rendon. I was in third base coach in Atlanta when he was a third base coach in Washington, D.C. We had a lot of conversations. He just had the injury bug. And he knows right now that health is important. And the conversations that I've been having with him on the phone before I get to Houston to see him has been about his dedication to his health, his dedication to allowing the strength and conditioning guys to give him a program, his dedication to staying on that program. And I'm going to find out from him, when he feel like he need times off. I'm going to find out from him, what he think the reason is why the past few years things haven't gone well around in the Los Angeles area with the Anaheim. And, I'm just going to let him talk. I know what I want, but I'm not going there to badger him on what I want. I'm going there to badger him on what he think we need to do to make things better around this clubhouse. And I know what they need, and they will get that on a daily basis. So that part of it, I'm not concerned about. So I don't need to go there saying what I need out of him, other than him being healthy. But I just need him to just commit himself to being healthy. And if he's healthy, Rendon is a winner, and good things will happen.
Yeah, and I know that you've been part of a Braves organization for years in the past that had the same lineup, especially from the infield, every day. Those guys played close to 162. So you're going to go talk to Anthony. What have you gotten from the team perspective, specifically on last year? At the end of last season, it was public. He said he had a fractured, chin, and the team said it was a bruise. Did the team give you any insight on how to kind of help to clear things up, since you could be that bridge?
Nope, I don't need the team to tell me what's happening. I have a new vision. Rendon has a new vision. Trout has a new vision. The whole organization has a new vision. Every player that was there the past few years, they got a new vision, and that's where I'm starting. I know what people are saying, but I'm one of those people that I like to see for myself. And I know the type of person that and the type of winning player that Rendon is. I've seen Mike Trout since he was a baby when he first got to the big leagues. I managed in Texas, so I know what he got to bring to the table. All I want them to do is get back to just being who they are. They don't have to be take the team and put on their back, because everybody on that team going to pull their weight. And if they can't pull their weight, they're not going to be on that team. It's just that simple. So, nope, I'm just excited to be in the position that I am in, and I'm excited to go hear what Rendon has to say about what he think we need to do to move forward. And whatever he tells me, I'm going to try to implement it along with what I know need to be implemented, along with my coaching staff knowledge of what need to be implemented. And we're going to come together as one, and we will be powerful.
What is Trout's vision? What is Trout? What is Mike Trout? When you call Mike Trout, how does that phone call go? Hey, Mike, I watched you. I was in Texas, and then I've been third base coach for a while in Atlanta, and I know you're a pretty good player. So, I mean, how does that conversation go? Because explain to me. Because if I'm getting a call, and listen, if I'm Mike Trout, I want a call.
I didn't need to give him my resume. My resume is already out there, so I didn't need to give him my resume. But what Mike Trout whole pitch to me is he just liked to get back to playing baseball the way he played baseball, recklessly, with recklessness, abandonment. You know what I'm saying? Taking advantage of the opportunities that's presented by the defensive team, and getting back to making certain that he lock in consistently on what he can do offensively, and just play the game without worrying about injuries that has been hitting him the past few years. And my comment to that was, well, you're gonna be able to do that under my watch. It's just go out there and play. So
Is
that's what the
there
conversation was about.
is there a directive from Perryman that you get when you sign up to be the manager of the Angels? You just said, "Hey, if you're not holding your weight, if you're not pulling your weight, you're gone." Did he say, "Well, hey, Ron, I want to make sure you know I'm the one making the decisions"? Are they letting you say, "Hey, you know what? This guy doesn't cut it. He gone."
That type of stuff don't happen on Ron Washington watch, whether he's in Anaheim, Los Angeles, or when I was in Texas, when I was in Oakland, and when I was in Atlanta. No, no. They know that my whole being is about winning. My whole being is about consistency and respecting the game. That's my whole being. And when I say things like, if you can't hold your weight, you're not going to be here, you take that however you want to. Because if I was a player and a manager told me that, it would go through one end right out the other. Because I'm going to hold my weight, no doubt about that. And that's the attitude that I'm planning on bringing to that team. So if something being said like that affect you, then you will be out the door. That's for sure. But do Perry give me some type of mandate? Nah. Perry and I are on the same page. He think like I think. So and Perry worked for me in Texas, so he know who Ron Washington is. So no. That's not threats when I say things like that. And that shouldn't affect you if you got yourself together and you got your game together and you're not worried about something. But if you got some kind of weakness, those type of statements will show out. And we're not going to have many weak links around that. That's for sure.
Hey, listen, you were my boss once for a year, and I
Sure
love
was.
playing for you. You were great. I mean, you came and I knew what I was getting every day from you. And then you went 10 years without getting another opportunity to manage, which was always mind boggling to me. Did you think you would never get another opportunity to manage?
Well, that's negative thinking right there, AJ. I never, you have a little piece of thought that maybe it won't happen for you again, but I never got that negative with myself that an opportunity may not present itself again. And if it didn't, guess what? I was still making a difference. I might not have been a manager, but I was still making a difference where I was and where I've been since I left the managing seat. So, yes, it a little bit of that crosses your mind, but if it's not a part of your mindset, which has never been a part of my mindset, because that's negative thinking, it doesn't bother you. You either do or you don't, you will or you won't. They either give you a chance or they don't give you a chance. But you got to keep yourself relevant and you got to keep making a difference for someone to decide to give you a chance. And the Los Angeles Angels, Art Moreno, and John, and Perry, and the rest of their group thought I was the guy for the job.
Okay, I got to ask because you were on a very special team to me. You were on the 2002 A's, and they made a movie about that team, and you were kind of prominent in that movie. Okay, so one, why was I not prominent in that movie? Because we ended your winning streak and we knocked your asses out of the playoffs that year. So they should have been a movie
Well,
about us. And then second of all, why did you not hire Scott Hadberg as your infield / DH first base coach? I know you got Bo Porter and Eric Young and all these guys, but I mean, the way you talked about Scott Hadberg in that movie, shit, I thought he was going to the Hall of Fame.
Well, Hadberg should go to the Hall of Fame for the way he played first base, for not ever being out there and having to go through what he went through and having to play with his mind, knowing that, man, I've never done anything like that before, and Billy telling him that he can do it, and I'm telling him it's incredibly hard, but that's the kind of gamer he was, just like you was, AJ. He's going to take it on, and he's going to do the very best that he can with it, and he did that. The rest ended up being history because he turned himself into a heck of a first baseman. The other part of his game, that's why Billy was after him. And the only part of the game that Hadberg was concerned about was the defensive side. And to be honest with you, I wasn't worried about it, but I wasn't going to let him know that I wasn't worried about it. I wanted to keep him believing that he had to get out there and he had to grind to get it done. I had no doubt that we was going to be able to turn him into a first baseman. That's why Billy went and got him and brought him there to be a first baseman, because he knew the type of work I can do.
Today's Martin Luther King Day. What does that mean to you as a black man that is done amazing things in this game, in his life, and affected so many people positively? What does that mean? What does this day mean to you?
Well, it means that if it wasn't for Martin Luther King and him fighting as hard as he fought for equality, I may not have this job. I may not have ever gotten a job as a manager in Major League Baseball, period. So it means just that much to me. And he's one of 3 people that are being celebrated like this. And the other 2, Christopher Columbus and Abraham Lincoln and Dr. Martin Luther King. So that goes to tell you right there how special he is.
Hey, Wash, I worked for the league for a while. Do you think that there are other things that could be done, or how would you grade right now the way that we are trying to get more black players into our sport, and really, of course, into all aspects of our sport? And I mentioned earlier that even includes the front office. But are we doing a good enough job as a game? And if not, what else would you like to see more of? Like, what are you hearing from people when you're at camps?
Well, I'm hearing, number one, this is my personal opinion. You look around the game, and on every major league team where there's Latin players, there's a Latin coach, or there's a Latin advisor. Every major league team has a white coach. Now, people talk about the black players that are not in the game, but they don't understand. They come from a different background and a different culture. And when they get into the game of baseball, there's a lot of things that's going on in the game of baseball that they just don't understand. And we don't have black coaches there to help them get through it. So that's where the indifference and the injustice is happening. I think we got to ramp it up, and we got to get black faces in every part of the game, because we are losing our black kids because of the culture shock that may hit them when they come from where they come from, and the majority of them are coming from one parent home, and it's usually the mom. So they always been bosses where they come from, and they just don't understand how to take sometimes love that when they're being criticized, that's what it is, and they don't understand it as that. They understand it as, well, this guy is messing with me because of the color of my skin, or this guy is messing with me because I see how he treating other people, or something like that. And need people around, especially other black coaches around, to make them understand how to deal with that and how to get through that. And until they do that, we're going to have problems. Until they, and I'm not saying that they're not opening it up. I'm talking about the people that will be in the front office. I'm not saying they're not opening it up, but there's been more into diversification in the front office than there's been diversification in the player part of it on the field. That's for sure. So that part of it, they starting to get it going a little bit, because when I was down in the winter meeting, I met quite a few blacks that are a part of a front office and has a huge role in the front office. So, but again, when you look at baseball teams, you don't see a ton of young black players, and I have to commend Major League Baseball for that dream series that they hold every year down in Arizona with these young black players, because there are some studs down there, and if that's the way they got to get their opportunity, they got to make sure that they continue to get as deep into the inner cities as they possibly can, because they are missing out on a lot of great athletes, even though at that dream series they have a lot of young great athletes already, but they're missing out because there are a lot more out there.
Wash, very well said. And I think there's 2 components when you're trying to get, young athletes involved in a sport, is obviously getting them on the field to play it, but also having them interested in it. So you just said, we got to make sure that we have this game, popular and talked about in the inner cities. Why are we leaving Oakland? You were there for a long time. That's a big ass city. They should have a team.
Well, they should have a team, but they got about 10,000 dedicated fans, but they will have about 50 dedicated fans when they win. It's number one. Oakland is a very poor city. Okay, so you got to give credit to that. They're a very poor city, and not many people can afford a ticket to come to a ball game. And when I was in Oakland, I thought they did a heck of a job reaching out to the communities and trying to bring the kids in of all ethnicity. It's not was just the blacks, it was Mexicans, it was the poor whites, it was everyone that they tried to bring in, but it still didn't do anything to dent the attendance. But when you won, they showed up, and the 10,000 or 11,000 that showed up every night, let me tell you, they were some awesome fans. They were awesome. And to answer a question that AJ asked earlier, when they took us out that year, we wasn't supposed to throw him that pitch that he hit. And we talked
What do you
about
mean, Billy
that all
Cox
the
throws
time.
one pitch?
We tried to sneak some cheese by a darn rat.
That's right.
And it didn't work.
No, y'all thought I was bunting. That's the problem. Y'all thought I was bunting. You guys thought we were playing small ball. We were playing money ball.
Y'all was playing money ball. And, no. Y'all earned that. It wasn't no surprise, man. The way you guys came up in there and played with a young Torrey Hunter and Jock Jones and Kadire and all, man. No. That wasn't no surprise. You guys came there to play, and y'all beat us. We certainly didn't take y'all lightly. We didn't do that.
Hey, you were talking about your fans out in Oakland. Listen, I've always said, as much shit as the Oakland fans gave me over my career, right? There was no better place to go when that place, even if they had 20,000 fans and they had the marching band out in the outfield and the flags going and that place was intimidating as it got for those fans that were there.
Yeah, they were real fans, man. They were real fans, and I will never forget the years that I spent there. And that's where my first opportunity was given to me to become a big league coach, is in Oakland and that Bay Area. And I mean, we had some tremendous years there. We really did. We may not couldn't have got out of the first round in the playoffs, but we was almost there all the time. And that's the one thing I can certainly be proud of.
Wash, last one from me. So your prior team, the Atlanta Braves, how tough was it to leave them, even though obviously you were like, hey, I'm looking to be a big league manager? And did you see your guy Alex Anthopoulos get locked up to a little lifetime contract recently? He's doing a pretty good job there, huh?
Yes, I did. I talked with him when it happened. I certainly called him because Alex is a great man. He believed in taking care of all of his people, and he did. He took care of me the times I was there. And behind the scene, a lot of people don't know, I was definitely offered jobs to leave, but I told Alex when I got there, I'm not leaving Atlanta unless I get a managing job. And he would come to me every year and say, hey, this organization called. They would like you to come do this. They would like you to come do that. I said, Alex, I'm not leaving here. And I stayed true to that. And I didn't leave until it was time to manage. And the opportunity for me to manage happened at the right time. It was time for me to go. It was time for those guys to start understanding how to take care of one another, because I'm going to tell you, it was myself and EY and the rest of that coaching staff. Every day they hit that ballpark, we was on top of them. They didn't come in that clubhouse unless somebody was on top of them. And now with two of the most powerful guys they had in that clubhouse gone, now they're going to have to definitely depend on the other coaches that's left and depend on the love and the wisdom, the knowledge, everything that we left behind. It was hard leaving Atlanta, but I have this opportunity to be a part of something special moving forward with the Los Angeles Angels, and I'm ready to dig in and make it happen.
Wash, have you finalized your coaching staff yet?
Got them all now. Yeah, I got Barry Enright.
I was waiting. My phone didn't. I don't know. You must have lost my number over the years. I don't know.
You look better on TV.
But see now, now when I come into town,
you wasn't ready to give that up to come stand out there.
That's a good point. That's actually a great point. But just know now, though, when I come into
if you was ready to do that, you'd have made sure I got a phone call.
That's
So
true.
anybody else
You're right.
decided it, you'd have been on the phone. Hey, man, I want to do this. I want to do that. I didn't hear from you. So I said,
I
you
know.
don't want it.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
fine. That's fair. But I just want you to know now, when I come in town, when you're the third base coach and I come up to you and you're out hitting fungos, you give me a hug and say, good to see you. You can't do that shit no more because you're the manager. So now I get 15 minutes and you got to sit in that office and you got to tell us all the secrets.
And I'm going to enjoy that. You know why? Because the secrets that you're looking for is going to be talking about baseball. And that's what I love to talk about.
That's right.
So, and anything that I can give to you, I will. Anything that I cannot give to you, I will not. I will, and then I will not.
Yeah.
That is
You'll
all
get
we,
enough.
all we
You'll
ask
get
is
enough.
be real.
Yeah.
Be real.
Yeah.
Well, Wash, we cannot wait to see you in camp and to see what you bring to this team. You will be very dearly missed in Atlanta. Great to catch up with you. Enjoy the rest of the short time left in the offseason. We'll see you soon.
Thank you so much. And I just, like I said, it's been 4 days down in Arizona with those young kids down there, and my juices are flowing. And I found out I better get myself in some kind of shape because I'm a little bit out of shape. But I kept up with them. I just had to pay the price that night when I went back. But each night the pain got less and less. So I got to start getting it together because I only got a couple of weeks left, and I just can't wait to get started.
Hey, you can hang with him. You got more energy than
Record
everyone.
your speech. I want their speech recorded. Someone just send it to me, please.
Ooh,
Get Bo or EY to record your first day speech and send it to me because I'll get fired up.
All right, I will make sure that happens.
Thank you.
I don't want it out in the media.
No, just for me.
Yeah,
just
yeah.
so I can sit there. I'm gonna show it to my son. My
You
son
got to
will
say
see
off
it.
the record.
Get my son all fired up, man. Because listen,
Yeah.
I mean, there was nothing. I remember when I was at the Rangers. I'm telling you, I had my locker and I had like Kinsler next to me and I had like Nelson Cruz on the other side. And you get going and we just look at each other and we're like, yeah, let's go.
I'll make sure you get a copy of it. I really will.
Thank you. And the best of luck. Seriously, Wash.
I got something special planned.
Nice.
And then from that point on, we're going to go out there and get between those lines and start making some magic happen.
That's right. Go bring some winning back to Anaheim. They deserve it. They need it.
Yes, they do.
Thank you.
They do.
Thank you, Wash. It's great to see you,
Thank
man.
you guys
we'll see you
for having
soon.
me.
Cheers.
You bet. Thanks for having me.